Get started now. Visit GoBarton.com.
Okay, Sports Day in 3, 2, 1.
This team has some guys that can really score. The offense isn't the issue, I don't think. And although we're not excited about the execution and how we're doing things, but we're still scoring the ball, and that's just because we're talented.
It really comes down to our defense, though. It comes down to being able to hold them. The first time they got 90 on us, or 92, and last time they only got 70, which was obviously a plus. But we need to hold them down even more than that.
One game, just one game. That's the tournaments, man. It's the hardest game to win is the first one, because everybody has new life and everybody has hope, and so we just got to lock in on that one game.
There's some promise there. There's hope for the first time in a while, I think, around Kansas. I think when you look at this quote unquote new season that Bill, when Bill hit reset, I think that they've actually played pretty well.
An incredible run, and it's from making decisions like this where maybe they know a little bit more than you because they're around the player more than you, and they know how he operates.
The left tackles had a fantastic day in free agency. I mean, Jalen Moore going to the Chiefs, Jalen Moore back up in San Francisco, now protecting Patrick Mahomes' blind side.
I think we're in a good spot. Just need to keep going and keep bringing in guys that are going to help us to continue to get better. I think it's going to get better and better every year.
J.J. Piccolo, who was mentored by Dayton Moore, feels very strongly about not rushing players to the major leagues unless they are just absolutely kicking the door down, and there's an opportunity.
And good afternoon. Welcome to Sports Day on 1590 KVGB and 95.5 FM, the talk of the town. Welcome in. It is the Tuesday Sports Day show. Steve Webster with you here from the Mayo Money Management Studio, joined by our executive producer, Landon Winkler, as we bring you the Tuesday show that actually is going to be the last show here in March, as we're going to shut her down for spring break, I guess. And, we'll return first part of April. That's because all the Sports Day hosts are either gone or on vacation. So, we're running with a short bench. So we will close strong today. On the program, Cole Reif will be joining me. He'll talk about a couple of games that the Barton Cougars will be playing tonight. One in Great Bend, one in Dodge City. Cole will have the call tonight from the Kirkman Center as the Cloud County Thunderbirds are in town to take on the Barton men in the quarterfinal round of the Region 6 tournament. Barton had a first-round bye, so they didn't play Saturday. Cloud went on the road and got a win at Colby. So they've got a win under their belt. And the quarterfinals, the winner of tonight's game advances to Friday's semifinals at Fort Hays State University. Mike Hesher will have the call right here on KVGB tonight as the Barton Lady Cougars, they will go for the upset of the number 1 seed, Dodge City, who's won 26 games this year. They've dropped only 4. They've handled the Cougars fairly well in the first 2 games of the season, so that'll be at 6:45 here on KVGB. We'll also talk with Central Plains boys coach Michael Ryan about their sub-state championship. They won Saturday in Colby with a win over Greeley County. Now they get set to take on Frankfort Thursday. We'll talk about it with Coach Ryan. And the voice of the Tigers, Gerard Welbrock, is going to join us, talk about the Fort Hays State men and women, both heading to the NCAA Division II National Tournament. The men got in by virtue of winning the MIAA tournament in Kansas City, with a win on Sunday. The women, they finished second, but with that gaudy record of theirs, they will be the number 3 seed as they open play in the Central Regional. That'll be at Pittsburgh State. So we'll talk to Gerard Welbrock about that. Plus, we'll have other headlines of the day, and, of course, our sounds the past 24 hours or so. We're talking about Barton basketball. That's Jeremy Combs talking about his team that finished 3rd in the Jayhawk Conference, saying that they can really score it. Wishes they just played a little bit more together, and they'd score even more. Well, they will take on Cloud County tonight. Alan Clark, head coach of the Barton Lady Cougars, have to put in. It's going to come down to defense. Can they keep that Dodge City team who loves to shoot the three-pointer from scoring tonight? Hopefully Dodge has a cold night. Lady Cougars can go in there and pull the upset. Again, the men on B1043 tonight. Lady Cougars right here on 1590 KVGB. The rest of the other games tonight, quarterfinal action On the men's side, Dodge City, they're the 9 seed. They play at number 1 seed Cali tonight. So it'll be Dodge and Cali down in Ark City. Butler, they play at Hutchinson tonight. So it'll be Butler and Hutch. That's a battle between the 4 and 5 seed. And Coffeyville at home tonight. They'll take on Garden City as a 7 seed. So if Barton can win tonight, knock off Cloud County, they would meet Coffeyville in the semifinals. On the women's side of things, Barton and Dodge going at it tonight. The other team on their half of the bracket, Cloud County, they are the 7 seed. They'll be in Hutchinson tonight to take on the team that tied with Dodge City for the Jayhawk regular season championship, the Hutch Blue Dragons. And then tonight in Coffeyville, the Red Ravens, the number 3 seed on the women's side, they will host 6 seed Seward County, and it will be the Cali Tigers, number 5 seed at Butler tonight in El Dorado in a battle between 4 and 5 seeds. Again, it's going to be cool this year. Semifinals and championship games will be at Gross Memorial Coliseum, Fort Hays State University, starting on Friday. Big 12 tournament getting underway today in Kansas City. Jerome Tang's message to his team is a simple one. Just win. Just win a game. That's the first thing you need to do. And then you win that game. Then you've got to win another game. And then for K-State, then they've got to win another game, win another game, win another game. Yeah, it's a daunting task for the Cats, who will play tonight against Arizona State. So K-State and Arizona State tonight. O.J. Moore covers college basketball in the Big 12 for the Atlantic, talking about KU's chances. I guess KU, they're playing better. They've gone 3-2 over their last 5, including that win over Arizona on Sunday. Bill Self hit the reset button. Well, is it reset button? The winner tomorrow night at 8:30, as they will be playing the winner of tonight's Utah-UCF game. Then awaiting them. Now, KU got 1 bye, but, of course, the expanded Big 12, you have 4 teams that got double byes, and one of those will be Arizona. They are the number 3 seed, so Kansas would have to win 4 games to win the Big 12 tournament title. K-State's going to have to win 5 games in 5 days. Not very easy to do. The other top seeds, Houston, number 1 seed, Texas Tech, number 2, and BYU got that 4th double bye seed as the number 4. So that's getting underway at 11:30 with Oklahoma State against Cincinnati. The 2 o'clock game today, TCU against Colorado. Then you have Kansas State against Arizona State, and Utah against UCF in the late game tonight at 8:30. Pete Sweeney, Arrowhead Pride, saying the Chiefs need to get the benefit of the doubt. What they've done, they've gone to 7 straight AFC championship games. Yeah, they've won 3 Super Bowls, so give them the benefit of the doubt on some of their off-season moves that they've made so far. Some people like them, some people don't. Latest one, Nick Bolton signing that 3-year, $45 million contract, keeps the quarterback of their defense out of free agency. They also decided to let All-Pro offensive guard Joe Tooney pick, and then they used a franchise tag on offensive guard Trey Smith, who they hope to work out a long-term deal with. Let's see. Then they got Marquise Brown, Hollywood Brown, on an $11 million contract for next season. And they were still fairly big moves yesterday, agreeing to a 2-year, $30 million contract with offensive tackle Jay Moore from the 49ers, and also a $3.5 million contract with his former 49ers teammate Elijah Mitchell. Bill Barnwell, ESPN senior writer, saying the first day of free agency in the NFL was very big for left tackles on day 1. So you look at Jalen Moore. He was mostly a backup in San Francisco, but he played pretty well down the stretch in a starting role this year for the Niners. And then Mitchell's coming off a series of injuries, but he will provide some depth in the running back room. So Chiefs trying to get their free agents in order, their salary cap in order, and then look forward to the NFL draft. Nathan Brown Day on Sports Day, as he wrapped up the Barton wrestling season, that saw 5 wrestlers advance on and participate in the national tournament. Feels he likes where the program's going. Nathan just finished up his 2nd year as the coach of the Cougars. Barton had 2 wrestlers win 2 matches at the tournament. Had one other wrestler win one match and two wrestlers that went 0-2. But last year, in his first year, just one wrestler went to the national tournament, and he went 0-2 go, and Nathan Brockelman hoping to continue to build that Barton wrestling program. And finally, Ryan Lefevre on whether he thinks number one pick Jack Caglione, who has been impressive in spring training, hit his third home run over the weekend, be in the major leagues this year. And he says, let's put the brakes on that a little bit for the time being. Is there a need, is what he says. And right now you have Vinny Pasquantino, Salvador Perez as your first baseman. And can he knock the door down? Well, we'll see where he's going to start. Whether if he starts in Double-A, you'd think, yeah, maybe he's got a chance to be up this year. And, of course, you hope the Royals don't have any injuries that force his way up there earlier. But, man, Caglione sits, what a specimen. He's huge. Number 22 prospect on Major League Base Pipeline's top 100 list. And with those 3 spring training home runs, the Royals lost yesterday in spring training action in Cactus League play. They lost to the team they'll open the season against on March 27th. Cleveland knocked them off yesterday 5-2. Colorado defeated by San Francisco 8-2. And the New York Mets blank St. Louis 8-0. We'll have Royals afternoon baseball for you today, hopefully, keeping the fingers crossed. 3 o'clock, the Royals will take on the Arizona Diamondbacks. So have a little baseball for you this afternoon. Barton Lady Cougar basketball tonight at 6:45. Royals baseball scheduled to roll today at 3 o'clock. State high school basketball tournaments getting underway tomorrow, and you can follow the Central Plains Oilers here, or over on 100.7 Eagle Country, as we will bring you Central Plains and Troy tomorrow in the quarterfinal round of the 1A D1 state tournament in Dodge City. So the Lady Oilers, 19-3, taking on a 21-1 Troy team, and then the Central Plains boys taking on Frankfort at 4 o'clock on Thursday. And again, you can follow the Oilers at the 1A D1 state tournament in Dodge City on KHOK. And of course, we'll talk more about that Central Plains boys matchup with Frankfort with the head coach, Michael Ryan, will join us here on Sports Day today. So there you go. Sounds the past 24 hours or so. We're going to talk Barton Cougar basketball with Cole Reif. That's coming up next. Then Michael Ryan will join us, and then we'll wrap up the show today by talking with Gerard Welbrock, voice of the Fort Hays State Tigers. Sports Day today brought to you by the Marmy Auto Group, 10th Street in Great Bend. Also Equity Bank. Here when you need us, bank local, save big with in-person banking and business banking. Find out more at equitybank.com. And Freedom Claims Management, innovative healthcare plans for your business. Let them take care of everything for you from start to finish. Continued support, they have you covered. It's Sports Day here on KVGB.
Take your passion for creating magic behind the curtain to new levels with Barton Community College's Technical Theater program. This new program is designed for students to learn how to create breathtaking light shows, run a state-of-the-art soundboard, and build captivating sets. Unleash your creativity and earn an associate's degree to build the skills you need for a career in theater. Now enrolling for the fall semester. Learn more at techtheater.bartonccc.edu.
Community bankers should actually know your community. Hi, I'm Sean Powson, president of your local Equity Bank. As someone who lives here, I know many of you, and I know what's important to you. I've been in the industry a long time, and I've helped many navigate through financial challenges and lead them to financial opportunities. I believe that people bank with people, so I'd like to invite you to stop by one of our region's 5 locations and meet our friendly, helpful staff. Let us show you our commitment to serving you and our communities. Because at Equity Bank, we're right here beside you. Member FDIC.
See, this is Happy.
Look, did you see the Easter Bunny?
Really? Where?
Just kidding, but I made you look.
Mima, what does this have to do with garage doors?
Well, nothing really, but people will be happy they came to C&E Doors. We offer the best garage doors around. Plus, our service technicians can help solve any issue your garage door may have.
What does Papa do?
I'm still trying to figure that out.
Garage door service and repair at C&E Doors in Great Bend and Hayes.
When you're a farmer, water can be a blessing or a curse. Expected rain? Good. Water in your engines? Bad. What do I trust to fuel my equipment? Cenex Ruby Fieldmaster, a premium diesel fuel that keeps contaminants from clogging filters, ruining fuel injectors, and tanking fuel efficiency better than any formula that's come before. Cenex Ruby Fieldmaster. fueled by innovation, powered to perform.
Contact American Plains Co-op Fuel Department in Great Bend, your certified Cenex distributor.
He's the voice of Hoisington High School football, the Barton County Cougars, and the king of the tweeter machine. It's Cole Reif on Sports Day on 1590 KVGB and 95.5 FM.
He is back from the dead. Cole Reif joining us on Sports Day today. How you feeling, man? It's postseason play.
Hold on, let me get this cough drop in. Okay, now we can talk. Now I'm allowed to talk.
So you're gonna you come back from the disabled list tonight? Is that the deal? Or
yeah, hopefully it holds up. It'll be a monotone broadcast, but hopefully we can just get something on the air. Is the point?
So you got the tickle thing? Is that when you come?
No, like Wednesday, actually Tuesday, but mostly Wednesday. Like before I headed out to that Coffeyville game, like I could tell, like your body kind of aches a little bit, and you can feel it coming on.
You got weak fist?
I don't necessarily get that as much.
Okay, all right, okay.
But I can just kind of feel like the tingles in the back, and your back starts to ache a little bit more. And
it's not just because you're going to Coffeyville, right?
Yeah, not just that. And so then after the game, like I could tell even more. But I slept. Woke up in the middle of the night that Wednesday after I got home in the middle of the night. Woke up like 2 hours later, and it's like, like fevers and just the whole flu gamut. And so then like Thursday just felt like dog, and then Friday still had some fevers, but a little bit better. But then I guess what, was adding injury to, insult to injury was the fact that I lost my voice Wednesday night too, because I could feel like a slight soreness in my throat before I went to the game, and then and usually I know that's a no-no, and by the time I got done with the doubleheader, my voice was gone. So that, and man, I don't know, I don't remember in the past, like when I lost my voice, I feel like my voice, I told Hesh, like my body's just falling apart because like my voice does not recover well, because that was Wednesday night, and like I am still struggling to get it back. So
yeah,
it's interesting.
If there's a last-second shot to win it tonight, it's...
Oh, man, like I listened to some games this past weekend, and there's a guy, I was listening to some of the MIAA tournament, and there's a broadcaster, a younger fella, that does games for Missouri Western. And I felt like anytime I hear broadcasters that are struggling, I always just feel so bad because, we've been there.
Yeah.
And this guy, like, I kid you not, Webby, like, and he has a, not overly low voice to begin with, but, like, still decent voice, and his voice sounded like Mickey Mouse. Like, he was at, like, that hype, and that's not an exaggeration. Like, it was comical. Like, I almost wanted to record it just to let you hear it. So, like, I felt that, and
well, that's not.
Hopefully, I don't
that's
get
not
to
his
that point.
normal voice, was it?
No,
oh, he
it's not.
was fighting. He was playing hurt. Then.
Yeah, he was playing hurt too. So hopefully, I don't get to that point tonight, and then hopefully, we got a good run coming up this weekend too.
Okay, let's talk about Hesh's game first. Dodge City. Alan Clark said they held them down better than they did in the second game than they did the first game. I mean, they stayed within vicinity for a while. What about this game tonight? Round 3 with Dodge City.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those where, I mean, you look at Dodge and, first of all, I mean, they're just really, really good. They're, nationally ranked, all season. They've pretty much been in the top 10, once they started making their big push, they've been in that top 10 for a long, long time. We're hovering around, number 5, right in that vicinity. So they're really, really good for a reason, and it's going to be a tall task, but you look at their 4 losses, they've had struggles shooting the 3. Now, it hasn't happened a whole lot, but in those 4 losses, they've really struggled. And so when you take, on average, I mean, they're near the top in the nation for 3-point field goal attempts. So when you take 35 to 40 field goal attempts from outside and you're hitting on a pretty small clip, that provides an opportunity. So
they're taking 35 threes a game?
Oh, easily, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, they're up there. They're up there. So when you're doing that, so like you just kind of hope you catch them on a bad night, and they're going to continue to shoot the 3. And they got girls like Layla J that's capable of getting inside, and Mia Jordan coming off the bench a little bit now, and those girls are capable of doing other things. And but you just hope you catch them on a bad night, and then on the other end, if you can handle the turnovers, I mean, if you can handle that, Barton has proven that their front court offense is good. Not too many teams can stop Vivian in the half court. So, there's that possibility. And, like, this time of the year, it's kind of, if you want to take on one of the Giants, cool. I mean, kind of, does it remind you a little bit of that, maybe it was the 2020 when Barton knocked off Hutch in the semifinals at Dodge City, semifinals with that buzzer beater. They weren't supposed to be anywhere close, in that ball game. So this time of the year when, you hear everything about March Madness, hopefully they can catch fire.
Have they been better against pressure recently?
Yes and no. It's gone in phases. Like, you look at that Coffeyville game last Wednesday, like, Coffeyville didn't even pressure him a whole lot in the backcourt, and they still had some, issues in the front court. There's just handling pressure maybe a little bit, but there's just a lot of careless, turnovers that are still happening that, that have got to get nixed tonight, if you want a chance. So I think in phases, if they just kind of, run to the scouting report, and a lot of times they, put Vivian up out near midcourt against that pressure so they can throw it up top, and then, she usually makes a pretty good decision from there. So if they can do that and just make crisp passes, hopefully they can keep those turnovers down.
Yeah, you keep it down, and then, hopefully missing some threes, and you get that postseason pressure.
Yeah.
That you see teams sometimes get all of a sudden, oh, it's not going down. Okay, we're going to launch this one, and then hold them down.
Yeah, no, I mean, who knows? I mean, like we talked about, how good Landon Steele is, and Dodge City is really, really good. But then defensively, their length causes so much problems too. Yeah. So you can talk about how good they are, hitting 13, 14 threes a game. But then on the other end, it seems like every girl out there is like over 6 feet tall, even at the guard position. So except for their point guard. So outside of that, like, you got so much length that causes problems in that zone defense too.
A lot of threats for the Raccoons getting in the chicken house tonight, right? Okay, we got a lot of things to take care of. Okay, Barton men tonight taking on a team that already has a nice road pelt under their that they were able to capture on the road. Cloud County. What about this team?
Clown's solid. I mean, we talked about before where we just feel like there's not going to be any safe matchup in the quarterfinals, and that holds true. I mean, you look at all the quarterfinal games, Dodge City's at Cali. You look at the underseeds. I mean, Butler and Hutch is the 4-5, but then you have Garden City at Coffeyville. Like, if you were to tell me that all the lower seeds won tonight and move on to the semifinals, like, I'd be like, oh, man, that's interesting. But I wouldn't be, like, overly shocked at the same time. Like, it'd be weird, but at the same time, like, I would not be shocked if any of these lower seeds get a win. Now, with that said, you look at the two matchups that Barton played Cloud County, the most recent one, in Great Bend at the end of January, and that was that weird game where Barton was up by 9 at halftime, and then Combs, I think it was like 2 minutes into the second half, pulled the starters.
Okay, yeah.
Because they had a tendency of letting teams back in it, and he didn't like, the look of that team in the first or the early second half. And even at that point, I think they're still up by 8 or 9 points. And didn't like it, pulled the starters, okay, that's fine. But it ended up pulling the starters all the way till the under 4 timeout, so the second half, and for like over 14 minutes. And eventually Cloud County, it came back, hit a free throw, took a 1-point lead with like 3.5 minutes to go, and then Drake Kendall had a really good stretch to finish out the final 3 minutes, and Barton won by 6, 90-84. But Cloud County is capable. I mean, you talk about big-time scorers, Elijah Savon, he's one of the top scorers, averaging about 17 a game. He's right behind Brent Moss in rebounds at 9 rebounds per game, and he has played extremely well against Barton. He had 29 in that game in January. I think he had 25 back in Concordia in the first semester. So, I mean, he's playing really, really well. Matthew Garber is shooting the ball extremely well. Sincere Burnett's really good. So, yeah, Cloud's got the talent. I mean, they got the athleticism, too, especially with a couple guys coming off the bench. So, and they beat Butler toward the end of the regular season, and like you said, coming off a win at Colby on Saturday. So they've already won once on the road, and know they played pretty well in that ball game here in Great Bend back in January.
Yeah, they kind of had a middling season, know.
Very much so. Well, they had that great start. I think they won their first 8 games. I mean, I have it written down. I mean, they started out 9-1. They were receiving votes in the top 25 poll. Actually, I think they cracked the top 25
and then
right before Christmas. And then Then they went on a bad stretch. They lost 7 games. They lost 12 of 13 games. Some of them close, some of them not. It's just been kind of a hard team to figure out. And first-year coach, but I thought, Kyle Pugh has competed well here, as of late, especially, getting that win against Colby on Saturday. So, yeah, that's a tough out.
Sometimes it's hard to pull a team out of a spiral like that because everything starts going south. You get guys start pulling, you get fights in practice, and so that's a credit to them. They can turn it around here at the end of the year. Did they win at Butler, or was that at home against Butler?
That was at Butler, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that was, you look at that. You look at the last few games they played. Obviously a 3-game win streak. That was at home, excuse me. That was at home. Okay. So that was March 1st, and then they won at Pratt by 1. The last 3 games they've won by combined 6 points. So they've been in some dogfights. So they won by 2 against Colby, 1-point win against Pratt, then the 3-point win against Butler. Got blown out to Cali, played Garden City close, played Coffeyville close in mid-February. Hutch, worked them up right after Valentine's Day. But, it's a Cloud County team that's tough. You look at the postseason history with Barton and Cloud, there's not a whole lot. This is only the 7th meeting overall, first since 2021. Barton has a pretty good record against them. They're 2-1 at home against Cloud. So, there's some historic things that are going in favor of the Cougars, but, this time of the year, and Cloud obviously knows what they're playing for. Barton knows what they're playing for. Who knows?
I bet Barton practiced hard this week. The way I'm just listening to Jeremy Combs. He came in on Friday for Sports Day, and on the post-game show, I called a play out there, and then I didn't know what they were running, and then so this team's tested coach a little bit this year.
Yeah, I think he said multiple times, it's been hard to figure them out.
Yeah.
I hate, especially this time of the year, I always hate going back to last year, but you had a really good pulse for last year's team. Just on what buttons to push and what things made them tick. This year's team, it just says they're a lot more loose, which sometimes you want at this time of the year. You want a loose team that doesn't feel that type of game pressure. But other times you want them to lock in. Okay, hey, this is serious business. And, I think they get it. But at the same time, both him and Austin Downing have mentioned, hey, this is kind of just a different team, and every team's going to be that way. But this is just kind of a tough one for them to figure out as far as, they might have 2 good days of practice and then come out flat in a game. Or they might have lousy practices and then come out with one of their best performances. So, it's been kind of one of those years of more good than bad. You're still, number 14 in the country and 20-plus wins once again. So, but what team do you get to start out postseason? We get to find out here in a few hours.
Yeah, here we go. So if Cloud pulls the upset and Hetch goes out and knocks off the number 1 seed,
I would let Hetch let it ride, man. I would let it ride. He's a good luck charm. He went out to Independence and was able to hold on at Indy. I went out to Coffeyville and took an L, so I'd let Hetch take that.
All right. Take care of the voice.
All right, we'll do.
Okay, it's good seeing you this week. I think it's the first time we've crossed paths here. But
I'm going to go back to the basement real quick.
Okay, very good. Cole Reif with us. He'll have the call tonight on B1043 The Point. Barton against Cloud County, 6:45, and then Mike Hesher will have the call right here on KVGB, 6:45 tonight out in Dodge City. All right, Michael Ryan, we'll talk Central Plain Oiler basketball coming up next on Sports Day.
From the Mail Money Management Studios, 1590 KVGB, Great Bend, and 95.5 FM K238CK, Hoisington.
If you're needing a healthcare plan for your business, let the experienced and dedicated staff at Freedom Claims Management Incorporated customize a health insurance plan that fits your business's need. Regardless if you're a large corporation or a small business on Main Street, Freedom Claims Management Incorporated can help you provide your employees with great health coverage at an affordable cost. Visit freedomclaimsinc.com where you can schedule a free, no obligation health assessment today. Freedom Claims Management Incorporated in Great Bend.
Maintenance.
When it comes to car maintenance, it's good to know a local guy that can get things done. The Eller family has been in the auto repair business in Great Bend forever. Greg Eller continues that long tradition of helping people. Eller Automotive Repair specializes in wheel alignments, oil changes, and general maintenance for all makes and models of cars and small trucks. Open 8 to 5 Monday through Thursday, 8 to 4 Fridays. Eller Automotive Repair at 915 Morton, right behind Great Bend Appliance, Furniture, and Sleep Source, 10th and Morton.
Hey everyone, this is Cole Wright, voice of the Barton Cougars. Attending sporting events for Barton Community College is great, but did you know you can support the athletic teams even further by getting involved with the Cougar Booster Club? The Boosters help with fundraising for equipment and facility upgrades to give Barton athletes every opportunity to keep succeeding at the regional and national levels. Join the Cougar Booster Club as an individual or business. Call 620-792-9377. Become a booster today. Go Cougars.
Barton Community College's natural gas program gives you the skills and training you need to succeed. Current student Easton chose Barton to get him ready for the field.
I chose natural gas because I saw all the different type of hands-on work that they do. The technology is top-notch. Instructors are very knowledgeable of everything. Anybody interested in a career in natural gas, I really encourage them to come here to Barton. My name is Easton Juno, and I'm a Barton Cougar.
Learn more at naturalgas.bartonccc.edu.
Sports Day is presented by Barton Community College and the Cougar Athletic Department. Sports Day on 1590 KVGB and 95.5 FM.
Welcome back, Sports Day here on KVGB as State Tournament Week will get underway tomorrow. Boys and girls action across the state. Central Plains girls play tomorrow at 4 o'clock. And then it is the Central Plains Oiler boys playing on Thursday in Dodge City as they open their tournament against Frankfort. Joining us to talk about it is the head coach of the Central Plains Oilers, Michael Ryan. Michael, thanks for giving us time today on the program. Congratulations, sub-state champions. Must be feeling pretty good right now.
No, thanks for having us. Yeah, we're really excited. Guys have put in a lot of work this year, and I'm glad they get this opportunity.
Okay, tell me about the game. Knocked off Greeley County on Saturday out in Colby, 56-50. Never could shake the Jackrabbits. They kind of were around the entire game, but in your eyes, how did it look, and how'd the game go for you?
No, it was by far not our prettiest game that we've played this year. You could tell that some of our guys were pretty nervous. Some guys haven't been in that position and that stressful situation. So it was really good for us. But a lot of reason why it didn't look pretty was Tribune did a lot of good things that made us uncomfortable. But glad our guys could fight through it and end up getting a W.
How do you tell you guys, just settle down? How's that work?
Well, if a coach figures it out, I hope they tell me because it's difficult. But a lot of our guys, like Brody Christ and Aiden Heckley, and a lot of our other guys, there was no nerves with some of those guys. They were locked in from the beginning, and it's nice having a point guard like that and a senior like Aiden that is calm under pressure and can handle it.
What was the game plan going in against the Jackrabbits, and how do you think you executed it?
For the most part, we did a pretty good job with that, I felt like. They had two kids that can really play and a big that was solid. And early in the game, their two guards were really giving us a lot of problems. So we had to switch to a triangle and two, which we really haven't shown much at all this year. And our kids did a pretty decent job out of it, just trying to make other kids beat us other than their two best players.
Okay, so how often do you practice defenses like that, box and one, triangle and two?
Here lately, we've been working on it quite a bit because we thought that we might use it. And against Ellis, we had it ready because they had two guards who could really score. So we had it ready for them, but we didn't have to. And so we've been working on it. We haven't hardly had games here lately. So we've had a lot of time to practice. So we've been repping that triangle and two quite a bit here lately, just in case we needed it.
When did you know you had it, and how did it feel?
Oh, really didn't feel comfortable until there was about 6 seconds left in the game. And we were up by 6, and we were on the free throw line. And at that point, knew that we had a really good chance, and it was big relief knowing that we were going.
Yeah, relief and joy at the same time. I guess as now you're coaching a team, how happy were you for those kids to see them be able to celebrate and hoist a sub-state championship trophy?
No, really excited for him, especially our seniors. Aiden Heckley is the only senior that played on the team that made state when he was a freshman the year before I got here. So really happy for our guys to be able to experience it. And like I said, they deserve it. They have been great this year. Been putting in a lot of extra time in the gym before school, after practice. So they put in the time, and I'm glad that they get to see their hard work pay off.
How cool is it to get to a state championship in football, and now you're at the state championship in basketball? Not state championship game yet, but to the state tournament.
No, it's a lot of fun, and that just shows how awesome, in my opinion, I know I'm biased, Central Plains is. Our kids don't just say, I'm of this sport. And a lot of places, that's what people do. They say they only play basketball, they only play football. But here, our kids take pride in trying to be good at everything. And even if it's not their favorite sport, because we have some guys that football isn't their favorite, and we have some guys that basketball isn't their favorite. But they show up every day, and if you just watched them in practice, you would not be able to tell which one they liked more, because they grit their teeth and they work every day, and it makes it a lot of fun here. We're spoiled.
Yeah, it's probably been an interesting year. Go back to the your first 3 days of preparation for your first game. All the way, and how did you see this team evolve during the season?
No, it's been a lot of fun. They've really grown up, a lot of them. Because early in the year, we struggled with when the ball wasn't going in the basket. Sometimes we, I don't want to say hung our heads, but didn't have the same optimism and attitude. And now a lot of them have really grown up, and if you just watch them play, you wouldn't be able to tell if that kid is making or missing shots at the moment, because they're going to act the same way, and they're still going to be a great teammate, and that's a lot of fun when kids are able to do that.
All right, so now it's on to state. Thursday, you meet Frankfort out in Dodge City. So as a coach, compared to when you went as a player, I guess you're finding out some things that you weren't worried about when you're just a player. I mean, you as a coach, some of the other things that you're having to do to get ready for this game on Thursday.
Yeah, there's a lot more that goes into it as a coach than there is as a player, just in terms of logistics, obviously.
Yeah.
But I'm fortunate my assistant coach, Aaron Gonzalez, he was around when we were going to state when I was going through in my one of my brothers. So he knows everything. Brett Rolfe, my coach when I was going through, has been a great resource, and obviously Pat. So they've made my life a lot easier in that instance.
Okay, so you win Sub-State on Saturday, then you immediately, of course, start digging into your first-round opponents. So when did you get your first look at Frankfort and start breaking them down a little bit?
Started looking at them the next day. We were able to get a couple films on them on Sunday, so able to look at a few things they do, and they are really solid, which obviously they made state. They have a lot of athletes on the team, and they're long and athletic, and we're going to have to do a lot of stuff well.
Okay, so long and athletics, that's one of the things probably stood out. When you what else jumped off the video about this Frankfort team you face on Thursday?
Number 4 for him, he's their quarterback in football. He is an exceptional ball player. I think he averages about 18 points a game, and he does it from everywhere. He gets to the rim, he's able to shoot the ball. So we're really going to have to contain him and make his life really difficult.
As far as the style they play, Michael, does it remind you of any team that you faced this season?
I don't know if it really, maybe Little River, similar, if that makes sense, just in terms of how athletic they are.
Okay.
And how they are able, or how they play well together. It would be probably my best guess if I was going to pick someone.
Okay, so as we take the kids through, of course, getting ready to go, of course, the girls play coming up on Wednesday, so I know you guys will be involved with that, but take me through what the week's going to look like now here as we're getting closer to your game on Thursday.
Yeah, we were able to practice yesterday. We're going to practice today like normal. And then tomorrow, something cool that we do whenever a team makes state is we're obviously in 2 different, our elementary school and our high school are in 2 different towns. So our guys and girls team are going to load up and head on over to Holyrood and have a sort of deal over there with the elementary kids, which is a lot of cool because our kids that are in high school now remember when teams have gone over there. And so we're going to go over there on Wednesday. And then we're going to have practice relatively early in the day on Wednesday, and so we can go on up to the girls' game and cheer them on, and then we'll come back home and get ready to go for our game on Thursday.
Okay, I know it's still a couple days away before you get to that game, but where do you get that feeling from your players right now at this point in the week?
I think they're really excited. In Sub-State, I think it was more nervous, if that makes sense. But now I think they're really excited for the opportunity to go and play at the state tournament against a really good team, and they'll all hang out there and see what we can do.
Okay, yeah, because that is, I mean, you remember that. That's the biggest pressure, just to get to that sub-state championship game. It's probably more pressure than any game they've faced all year, and will even.
Yeah. No, most definitely. You can definitely see in some of our kids that there was nerves there. And I hope that they can, since they've been there in that situation, I hope once they get to state now they can relax and just play and enjoy it.
How excited are you?
Really excited. The growth that a lot of our kids have had the last 3 years has made it a lot of fun. And they've spent a ton of time. And like I said, they deserve it, each and every one of them.
Keeping the legacy going, Central Plains basketball, Michael Ryan. Have fun. And, one more thing. You get there, so where do you get past? I mean, is it, you're excited to be there, but, how do you get past it? Okay, we're just happy to be here.
And when we were in the locker room after the game on Saturday, that was one of the first things that we said is, yes, we are thrilled to be there, but we are not just going to be happy to make it. We want to go in there and we want to make some noise, and we want to be playing on Friday and Saturday is really what the kids said also.
Coach, exciting times. Good luck this week.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Head coach Michael Ryan, head coach of the Central Plains Oilers. They play on Thursday, 4 o'clock against Frankfort. We'll have more Sports Day coming up after this.
See you doing this is happy.
Look, did you see the Easter Bunny?
Really? Where?
Just kidding, but I made you look.
Mima, what does this have to do with garage doors?
Well, nothing really, but people will be happy they came to C&E Doors. We offer the best garage doors around. Plus, our service technicians can help solve any issue your garage door may have.
What does Papa do?
I'm still trying to figure that out.
Garage door service and repair at C&E Doors in Great Bend and Hayes.
It's all here at Great Bend Rec.
Sports, leisure, fitness and wellness, even senior and adaptive needs. It's all here at Great Bend Rec. Pick up a program guide or stop by the rec office at 1214 Stone in Great Bend. Or check out the website, greatbendrec.com. Live, play, explore at the rec.
It's all here at Great Bend Rec. Live, play, explore at the rec.
Community bankers should actually know your community. Hi, I'm Sean Powelson, president of your local equity bank. As someone who lives here, I know many of you and I know what's important to you. I've been in the industry a long time and I've helped many navigate through financial challenges and lead them to financial opportunities. I believe that people bank with people, so I'd like to invite you to stop by one of our region's 5 locations and meet our friendly, helpful staff. Let us show you our commitment to serving you and our communities. Because at Equity Bank, we're right here beside you. Member FDIC.
Some people call him Gerard. Most people just call him Grr. It's time for Tiger Talk on Sports Day with the voice of the Fort Hays State Tigers. Here's Gerard Welbrock.
Gerard Welbrock with us here on Sports Day as they call him Grr, they call him Champ. Way to go. Went in there and got you a MIAA championship for the Tiger men, and the women come up just short, but both teams going on to the NCAA Division II tournament. That's good stuff.
Yeah, second year in a row. It's pretty cool that's happened. Men both were solid lock last year. Men maybe a little more nervous than the women, but men had to win it all this year and got her done. It was a fun weekend, and hopefully they can carry that momentum into the NCAAs.
Did you feel that one coming for the Fort Hays State men, Gerard?
Not really. I thought they'd play well, and I knew rarely do they get blown out. I mean, occasionally, but I mean, they play hard. They do all those little things. It all comes down to can they hit a few shots, and they shot the ball pretty well. I mean, it wasn't great, but it was better than they normally do, and they did. They played well. They got a break probably with, I say a break with Central Oklahoma instead of Washburn. I think Central Oklahoma is every bit, if not more talented than Washburn. They just, they can't maintain it all year. Let's just put it that way. And so They got on a roll, but Fort Hays played well. I thought they had a good draw, and the bracket was nice in the sense that, if they get to the semifinals in Central, I thought they'd play well against Central Missouri after scoring 31 the last time. That wasn't going to happen twice, and they did. They got off to a good start and played really well, and then Rogers was a good matchup for them. We talk so much about this time of the year, it's matchups, and Fort Hays State shot it well again, and the defense was maybe as good as it's been in that game, because Rogers has some pretty good players, and their coach is a lot like Mark Johnson. They are built. The teams play from the same mold. They coach the same way, and then you find a way to win that. And then UCO is incredibly talented. They're long, and Fort Hays State did not back down. It was a great game. I think each team's biggest lead was 7. Fort Hays may have had a 8-point lead in the first half, and then just back and forth. Looked like Fort Hays State was under control. Next thing you know, they're down 1. Then they get down 5, then they go on a 9-0 run and get the lead back, and then it was just, possession by possession. It was just a lot of fun, and fortunately, they got 2 free throws late and did just enough defensively to force a miss and get the win.
How about that? Mark Johnson got the team to the tournament 9 times now in his career. That's pretty good. And 700 games?
Yeah. Isn't that crazy?
Yes, it is.
And he won it on his 700th game, and really happy for him. And I know this team has been a joy for him to coach, because you try to get the same players to do all the things, but they change. Players change. People change. The philosophy for Fort Hays basketball has never changed. How they played now is how they tried to play when Mark was first coach, first or second year coach, and how they'll always play. But this group they've had, with a few new pieces here, a few new pieces there, have bought into this, how you have to play and how they have to play to win, and it's worked out well. And Mark probably showed as much emotion as I've seen him after the win, and he was asked that at a press conference. And I thought it was interesting. He didn't want to go too deep into it, but he wanted to break down. But he said the last time they won the tournament in 2011. He didn't cut down the nets. He kind of just stayed in the shadows, let the team celebrate. He participated, and I think when you're a younger coach, I will be back. You'll do it again, and this league is hard. Unless you're with Northwest, what they did is remarkable. And I think he realized, hey, this doesn't happen every day, and I needed to enjoy it, and he did. And for a guy like Caleb Hamdicky, who's been just the heart and soul for the last 5 years, for him to win the league championship, that was really cool. And for me with Caleb, he's a great player, but his leadership ability, and I thought at the very end, it was kind of funny. Kyle Grill, who's on the all-tournament team, went out to get the trophy. I think he thought his whole team was going to be behind him. He turned. Well, no one left the bench, so he's out there by himself, and he's trying to give it to Caleb, and Caleb points, lift that thing up. He's like, that's not about me. It's about, and I thought that just shows Caleb Hamdicky's leadership with a younger player, and it was really fun.
Was there any danger of Washburn not hosting?
I didn't think so. I thought there was enough space between them and everybody else. I really didn't think there was. So I'm not surprised they have it. And they're going to be tough. I mean, sometimes you see that you get bounced in the tournament early. It almost get a little rest, maybe refocuses you a little bit. I think they're going to be tough out. I think Fort Hays State's got a really tough first-round opponent who's playing well at MSU Moorhead. They might be the team that can beat Washburn. We'll see. They're the 2 seed, and they've been to the tournament 5 straight years. But yeah, not surprised they hosted, and I didn't think they played that bad against UCO. UCO just put it all together. They're a talented team. They pounded Fort Hays down in Edmond when they played back in January, and it's like, watch out. But they just could never get on a roll. But you get them in the conference tournament, everything's on the line, and they played well, but Fort Hays played just a little bit better.
Okay, Lady Tigers will get Southern Nazarene in the quarterfinals at Pittsburgh State. So everybody kind of stayed in the same area anyway, so the travel won't be so bad for you guys.
Not so bad, yeah. And obviously Pitt winning the tournament, not surprised they got it. If Fort Hays won the tournament, they had an outside chance of possibly still hosting. Probably what would have happened is hold on to Minnesota, and St. Paul would have got it. So that's probably what would have happened. But I figured by Fort Hays beating Western and then beating Pitt, that may have been enough in their schedule strength to jump it. But, Pitt really had a good tournament, just didn't play as well, especially the first half against Pitt. And Pitt played great, and I think they had a little extra something there because Fort Hays got to him in Hays. It was kind of a flip-flop of games. The first meeting, Fort Hays jumped out early and never really let them back in it. Pitt did that in the tournament finale. Tigers did. They were down 24 in the early fourth and cut it to 6. And Pitt hit 3 big threes. And when their post player hadn't hit one all year, hit it, you knew that this isn't happening. But I think the Tigers maybe learned a little bit. They got some stops against a good offense and got things going offensively. So, maybe hopefully they'll meet again in the regional championship game. They figured some stuff out because obviously this wasn't the same Tays team that played Pitt the first time. But yeah, it's good for them to get in. Southern Nazarene's a good opponent. They hosted the regional last year. They've lost a few pieces. I like Fort Hays State's chances in this one if they play the way they have been, other than the first half. And probably for them, they're shooting the ball a little bit better from the perimeter. They're getting better shots. And so hopefully that continues. It's a familiar building in Pittsburgh, so hopefully it bears well and bodes well for the Tigers.
I kind of go with the Tigers are due. They're due for an Elite Eight.
Trust me, I'm with you.
Because you have to have so many things happen. Have close wins, things that go right, and this seems the year. I mean, especially you got 2 in and who knows, maybe the men can take it all the way.
You're right. This team will think about the men. They're going to do, to me, if they shoot the ball okay, and if they shoot it really well, they're going to be hard to beat. I mean, they're not going to, they have to play with every fiber they're being to win games, especially this time of the year against great teams. But they're going to do that. That's just what they do. And I even said on the broadcast in the championship game, I don't know if Fort Hays State's going to win, but they will have nothing left in the tank when these 40 minutes are up because they will have spent it all out there. That's just how they are. And that's what I've loved about this team, not just this year, the last couple of years. And people like a lot of offense and scoring and three, and I get all that. We all do, but the way they lock down and play defense and just the little things, do all of the little things that make you win. It's just, and they don't always win, but it's just, to me, I've appreciated that so much this year. And for the women, same thing with them. We were talking after one of the games with some of the radio guys, and someone brought up, man, every time you guys are really good, you have an injury. So I know it. This is 4 times now. I think Fort Hays State's not only been an Elite Eight contender, but I think a national championship contender. They've had a major injury to a starter and key player late in the year. It happened again this year. And can they overcome it? Because at full strength, I think at full strength they're hosting this regional. I think they would have won out. And they're still trying to find themselves a little bit and figure it out. But I think that I felt better about things in the tournament, the way they played, and I know they lost in the championship. And they knew they were in. I think they were disappointed, but I think they'll rebound from that. So I like their chances. It's going to be tough. This is a good regional, but if they play to their capability, I think they've got a chance to be playing at least on Monday, and then who knows what happens there. But, yeah, I agree with you. They're due. They're due to have this. Because Mark's had a couple teams I think could have won a title, at least got to the Elite Eight, and had some bad luck along the way, so injuries, and that's all part of it. It's hard to do. It's hard to go through a season and have those years. And you look at the teams that do it, you look back, it's like, wow, they were really fortunate how they did it.
This is the year, Gur. This is the year, my friend. Okay.
I like your vibes. I like your positive thinking. I'm all in.
Jordan Welbrock, voice of Fort Hays State Tigers. Have good calls this week, and hope you're playing next week, too.
That would be fun. Thanks.
Okay, Jared Welbrock with us on Sports Day.
Dr. Nels here, Animal Medical Center, and today we want to give a shout out to all the supporting cast at these basketball games. We have some great young men and young women on the court, but we also have some great young men and women playing their instruments, cheering, dancing, all those things. Let's clap for them. When they perform and get done, let's show them a round of applause, show them some love as well, because they deserve it. Dr. Nels here, Animal Medical Center, large or small, we take care of them all.
Marmy Auto Group makes it happen. Central and Western Kansas. Check out our selection of new and pre-owned inventory. Marmy's friendly staff offers top quality service that you've gotten to know over the years. When your existing vehicle needs parts or service, our experienced team will get you back in the game this season. Marmy Chevrolet, GMC, Ford and Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep Ram, parts, service, and body shop. Visit Marmy Auto Group on 10th Street or marmys.net. Marmys, make it happen.
For the past 13 years, Sports Day has been the show devoted to local sports and local athletes. And it's all brought to you by Barton Community College and the Cougar Athletic Department.
All right, Big 12 tournament underway right now. Under 5 minutes to go in Kansas City. First game of the day, and it is Cincinnati on top of Oklahoma State, handling them pretty well, 73-66. That'll be followed at 2 o'clock today. Colorado playing TCU. K-State plays tonight at 6. They'll take on Arizona State, and then the late game tonight, Utah against UCF. KU will play the winner of that UCF-Utah game tomorrow night at 8:30. K-State, if they can beat Arizona State, which I think they should be able to do, they would be taking on Baylor tomorrow night in the 6 o'clock game. So that's at the Big 12 tournament in Kansas City. Royals baseball coming your way today at 3. Keep your fingers crossed. I think we're ready to go today. 3 o'clock, it'll be the Royals against Arizona. Spring training baseball coming your way. Opening day is March 27th. The Royals open the season at home at Kauffman Stadium against the Cleveland Guardians. So, of course, we'll have all the games for you this year on KVGB. So, baseball, basketball doubleheader for you today on KVGB tonight. Mike Hesher with a call from Dodge City. Lady Cougars will go for the upset as they take on number 1 seed Dodge City. 6:45 pregame, and then Cole Rife will have pregame for the Cougar men as they're at home tonight taking on Cloud County in the men's quarterfinals. 6:45 pregame there again on B104.3 tonight. And then semifinals from Gross Memorial Coliseum coming up on Friday. If Barton wins, they would, on the men's side, they would take on either Garden City or Coffeyville. Coffeyville hosting Garden City tonight in that tournament. Baseball news today. Boy, Yankees. Feel sorry for the Yankees. Garrett Cole to have season-ending Tommy John surgery on his right elbow today. So, 34-year-old right-hander going under the knife for the New York Yankees. All right, we're going on a little sabbatical here on Sports Day. We'll return April 1st, April Fool's Day. We'll be right in the middle of the spring sports season. That'll be our next Sports Day show here on 1590 KVGB and 95.5 FM. Enjoy the rest of the day. Royals baseball at 3. Head out and support the Cougars tonight at the Kirkman Center as well.